And we are live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris. This is my channel, We Love Comics. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this video, whether you are here live or you're watching it later. Thank you so much. It is always appreciated. And I already see a couple of people starting to come in, which is always a good sign. I have a key issue comic that I just got in the mail today. Like I said in a video I made a couple of days ago, I was able to get a couple of comics for the first time in months, like significant comics in the first time in months, because I sold a couple of my comics to one of the people that used to come to the flea market, who actually took my business card and contacted me. So I had some extra cash, and I thought I would get some investments while I can, and this is definitely a book I highly recommend. So while I'm waiting for a few more people to come in, 2 people already liked it, so thank you for those who take the time to hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to sign up for the cashback program. Now, it's $20 now. If you spend $20 or more, you get, within the first 90 days of any of their affiliated sponsors, you'll get a $20 cashback bonus. Now, if you signed up for the $40 cashback bonus, if you spend $40 within the first 90 days of signing up, you'll still get the $40 bonus. So if you're just signing up now, unfortunately that $40 bonus is already done. But $20, you know, hey, it's still free money on something you were probably going to most likely buy anyway. Just make sure you check for restrictions. But if you're one of the many people that I saw that signed up that did not spend the $40, even though the program is done, the program did say if you spend $40 within the first 90 days of that sign up, you will get the $40 cashback bonus. So don't lose out on an extra $20. You know, especially these days where money might be a little bit harder to come by. Every little bit helps. So the link is in the description. It's in the live chat, and it's also pinned to the comments section. So go check that out. Normally it's a $10 cashback. So even if you missed out on the $40, you're still getting the $20 cashback. So hey, you know, everybody wins on that one. So let's put on the video camera, and don't forget, guys, wait until the end. Join the live chat, even if you're not a subscriber, even if you've never seen one of my videos before. Join the live chat, because one of the things I do is I pick now 2 people that are in the live chat for the surprise subscriber shout out. If you are one of the people that is chosen, if you have a YouTube channel, you could post a link to your channel. Just keep in mind I do have to verify it before I publish it, because I have to make sure it's something that's not inappropriate for viewers. If you do not have a YouTube channel, if you have an Instagram page, or if you sell anything on eBay or Etsy or something like that, and you'd rather post one of those links, I will allow you to do that. So that is an extra thank you for participating in the live chat. And hopefully I'll earn your subscription if I don't have it already. So 5 people hit the like button. Thank you so much. All right, so we got the box right here. This just literally came in this morning. This is a book that I would definitely recommend getting. It is based on a lot of books that I've been talking about lately, where the MCU has a whole bunch of Fox characters, and even to a lesser extent Sony characters, into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And these books are books that are as guaranteed as you can to going up in value. So the idea is, even though some of them may seem a little bit expensive already, you basically haven't seen nothing yet. So as you can see, they put it in a box, they wrapped it nice. I recommend this all the time when you buy from anybody online. I tell them, please place cardboard, which they did. Please put it in a box, which they did. And I explain why. I basically say, so this way there's no way the postal service workers will, you know, some of them will be lazy and they don't want to get out of the truck and bring it to your door. So they might just try and fold it into your mailbox, which would destroy this, because this person says that this book is a 9.8. And if it is, I'm going to be very happy. So I will be getting this graded. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. Alright, so let me take a look at this. Obviously, I will have to check the back, but yeah, I could definitely see this as a 9.8 candidate. Alright. So without further ado, don't forget to hit the like button. I always appreciate that people do that. And here is the book that I will recommend people get. So we got New Mutants 98. But if you look closely, there's not one, not two, but three signatures. It doesn't have Liefeld, unfortunately, but it does have Fabian Nocella, Bob McLeod, and Chris Claremont. So triple signed. This is definitely a 9.8 candidate. I will have to check the back just to make sure. Ungraded. I mean, I'm unsigned. This book currently at a 9.8 is about $900. And that's unsigned. So I got this one triple signed. They had this was a newly listed book. They had it at $390, which right there is a good deal. I always try and contact sellers to try and get better deals. Now, they weren't that flexible, but they were flexible, and I didn't pay the amount that they were asking for. I paid $365 for this book. So this is a potential, let's just say 9.6 just to make sure, between 9.6 and 9.8, triple signed New Mutants 98, and they have recently confirmed that they are going ahead with the Deadpool movie. Now, obviously, we've known that for a while now, so that's not a shocker. But the average person out there doesn't pay attention to this stuff, and they wait until they get announcements, or they may never have heard of it before, and that's when they pounce on these books. So you're going to see this book rise a little bit because of the announcement, and then it might stagnate a little bit. It might even go down a little bit for a couple of weeks until you start seeing trailers, rumors about, villains and things like that, and then the actual movie coming out. When the movies come out, even if they give you a specific date, I wouldn't hold my breath these days. Anything is subject to change with the events that are going on in the world, but that just gives you more time to be able to buy this book, because if this is unsigned at a 9.8 worth about $900, once they get to the point where the first movie comes out, this will probably be, in my opinion, a $1,500 to $2,000 book in that grade, unsigned. So it's a book that can be expensive, but it's not out of the realm of possibility, because I used the PayPal credit and I have 6 months to pay for this. So that should be no problem at all for me, and be able to get a book that's going to be worth a heck of a lot more down the line. So I have several copies of this book. I was fortunate enough to buy 2 of these the day they came out. So I paid $1 for 2 of the books. And to show how insignificant this book it was for years and years, one of the books I put in a bag and board and put in a box. And then the other one I put with all of the kind of, not junk comics, but the ones that I knew weren't going to be worth anything. And it wasn't even in a bag and board. And it was there for over a decade or so. So at that time, nobody cared about Deadpool. He was basically a joke character. The movies definitely brought him to a bigger light. Plus, in the beginning, he was a very serious, just generic character. And then they gave him the personality that he's, well known and famous for. And that revitalized the character. And now, it's got a lot of prints. This is not a rare book. But rarity doesn't always mean value. I mean, you could look at Amazing Spider-Man 300. That is not a rare book, and yet it does get a pretty penny. Now, obviously, 9.6s to 9.8s are going to be the most desirable, but even lower grades at this point are starting to get up there in price. So I always say, get what you can afford, and low grade is always better than no grade. So if you can only afford a lower grade, if you spend $40 on a low-grade book and it ends up after the movies and everything, because he's going to be in the MCU for a long time. There's a really big contract they're doing with Ryan Reynolds. So these books will continue to rise unless the character bombs, which, with Marvel and Disney's reputation with these movies, I don't see that happening. If you spend $40 on a lower-grade book and it ends up being a $100, $150, $200 book, well, that's a good investment because you've more than doubled your money. Obviously, there are no guarantees, and like a book like this, I would not get below a 5. I mean, if you're buying it just to read it, then you're better off getting one of the like True Believers, which has actually people have said is going between $10 and $20 now. So even those lower valued books are, you know, still affordable, but they're getting up there. And anybody out there that says, oh, well, you know, videos like this and others end up making books, you know, out of reach. Well, if this book has been published since the 90s, if you don't have it by now, you really didn't want it. So if you only want it because the price is going up and the desirability is going up, well, that's not everybody else's fault. That's your fault. You know, if you have a classic car, you know, I seriously doubt anybody's going to be able to buy a Model Ford, you know, a Model T Ford for the original asking price of $300 when they first came out. You know, things do go up over time, and if you're not aware of that, well, then you really shouldn't be collecting, and you really shouldn't be mad at anybody but yourself. But sometimes people just like to vent their frustrations out to everyone else, and, you know, they have that right. All right, so let's pick today's surprise subscriber shout-out. Like I said, don't forget to sign up for that cashback program, because, like I said, if you already signed up when I was showing that $40 cashback bonus, if you have not used it yet, if you spend the $40 within the first 90 days, you'll still get that $40 cashback bonus. But if you sign up now or signed up a couple of days ago, it's only $20, but hey, $20 is $20, so it used to be $10, so you're still getting twice the amount, and it doesn't cost you anything to sign up. So check in the description, the live chat, or in the comment section, and while you're checking the description, scroll down, because there's a couple of different things in there, discount codes and stuff that I offer that I don't talk about that could hopefully save you a little money. All right, so let's do today's surprise subscriber shout-outs. Ken Lovett sells it. You're going to be the first. And he says, how easy will it be to sell signed? Well, I am going to get this graded, so they will have, PGX does have the signature verifications, so they will get these verified. And I've seen these signatures before, and they definitely look legit. I mean, obviously, there is no 100% guarantee if you haven't been there to see it. But like I said, I've seen these signatures before, and they're all different style. Like, for example, here's Chris Claremont's. You can see, let me close in. You can see that's his signature. And then the Bob McLeod, I've seen his. So it's not like one person tried to do these. They're very distinct signatures. And they're all in different colored pens. The person told me the dates and everything that he got them signed. And he even showed some pictures with it. But I will be getting this graded. Now this is where I always tell people, make sure you know what grading service to use, because not every grading service is going to work with every situation. For example, if you were to send this in the CGC, this would come back a green label, and it would say writing on the cover. So you would get a qualified grade, because they do not do signature verification. They only do signature witness. So you would not get a yellow label. So to send this to CGC would not make sense, especially if you're trying to do it to sell it. So your only other really two major options, and there are other companies out there, I know that, but the two major companies are CBCS and PGX. Both of them do the services for signature verification. So it would pay to either send this to CBCS or PGX. So CGC may be number one, but they're not always number one for what you might be looking for. So make sure you do your research. I actually have a video under my playlist of tips and advice where I give my honest opinion about all three companies, the pros and cons, because there is not one company that does everything right, despite what some will say, and there is not one company that does everything wrong, which despite some people say. You have to keep a fair and balance, and that's why I always tell people make sure you do your research. So today's second surprise subscriber shout out, we're going to go with Southern Comic Geek. He says definitely use CBCS or PGX for this one. Absolutely. He also said he got a newsstand of this book. And yeah, the newsstand variant, the way you could tell is if this was a barcode instead of Captain America. I happen to have one of the newsstand variants myself. Newsstand variants are starting to get recognizable. So look for it like with your Amazing Spider-Man 300s, you know, your other books in the Copper Age and a little bit higher of the Bronze Age. Not all the way back, though, because they had barcodes back then. They didn't have the difference, but you could tell sometimes they had a barcode with a line through it. That's how you could tell. And I have a video about that as well. So the normal one you'd find in a bookstore, like a comic book store, would have something like this, or Spider-Man's face, or something like that. The ones that are newsstands, like for example, if you got them at Walmart, or if you got them at 7-Eleven, I bought some books back in the days from 7-Eleven, they would be newsstand variants. So that's what those are. Those tend to be rarer because, you know, if you're getting a book out of like a 7-Eleven, they're more likely to get damaged because they're not going to be in bags and boards. They're just raw on the newsstand. So a 9.8, especially on a newsstand variant, tends to be more desirable, and you will most of the time get more money for them. And I'm starting to see lately that they're actually recognizing that there is that difference between the two, and there should be. And I really think that all grading companies should put on the slab if it is a newsstand variant, because I think that is important. So if you don't know about that, like I say, make sure you do your research. So those are the 2 surprise subscriber shout-outs. Of course, if you are one of my moderators, you can post a link to your YouTube channel as well if you are moderating in the live chat. And let me know what you think in the comments section. 13 people liked it out of the 33 that were watching. So not bad, but I want to thank the 13 that were kind enough to hit the like button. Whether you agree as far as my opinion with grading companies, you know, that's perfectly fine. Use whoever you want. But for those of you who have an open mind and base things not on customer bias and customer loyalty, but you base it on what works for you, that means you're going to change all the time depending on your needs. It does pay to research and not just listen to somebody that says, oh, this company is #1 and they're great and they never do anything wrong, and this company is garbage, they'll always screw you over. That's just somebody that just really does not want to give an honest, fair opinion, and they have some kind of bias, which is not going to help you. So if you want to listen to somebody that's to either of those extremes, obviously you have that right. But if people want to be upset with me because I think differently, again, you have that right, but it's a silly thing to do these days. But I'm not going to get into much of a rant. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know what you thought about this book. Would you have paid $365 for a potential 9698 triple signed New Mutant 98? Like I said, unsigned at 9.8 of this book is currently at 900, and I just feel that this book has so much more room to go upward while we're waiting for trailers and other announcements and the movies to start coming back. So I would love to hear your opinion in the comments section. So thank you very much for the likes. Thank you very much for the participation in the live chat. And do not forget, it is not you, it is not I, it is we love comics. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next video. Alright, since some of the people left, we are going to give a quick second unboxing. I got a box right here from Southside Comics. So this is one of those little Easter eggs for my power viewers and ultra power viewers that watch videos to their completion, and they don't just sign off as soon as they see something. Which, I mean, you know, if you're busy or you're working or you're tired of hearing my voice, I can completely understand. But this is a thank you for those who watch entire videos. Southern Comic Geek says, surprise for waiting till the end. Yeah, I don't do this all the time, but I will do it periodically. It's my way of saying thank you to those who watch videos to completion. Now, as you can see, and I am technically, quote-unquote, sponsored by Southside, but I do not get paid. I do not sign contracts or anything like that. But I do get free comics when I mention, you know, variants and things like that. But I want you to see what a great job they do. Look at the size of this box, and these are the comics that came in it. So they actually put them in several different bags. So they have the comics in bags and boards. Then they put them in individual bags. They fold them around them and then tape them. Put the invoices with the actual bag. And then put it in a box that is completely protected. And this is a sturdy box. You know, the type with the handles on them. You know, the cardboard's pretty thick. So they do an amazing job. And it's something I want to definitely promote, helping a local business. So because I don't get paid by them, there are no contracts. So I'm never obligated to sell you or show you anything unless I think you guys are going to like it. So that's a big difference from somebody who has a signed deal, because a lot of times you have to say nothing but nice things under contract. And if they tell you, well, we want you to promote this product or that product, you have to do it. So that is not the case here. So these are the books, and they only put 2 in each bag, well, at least in this bag, so they didn't just ram them all into one bag. They were very careful about it. So we have Venom number 29. This is the variant edition, and then the Virgin edition. So very happy with those 2. So if you're interested in using them, you know, I do also offer, I made sure they did this for you guys, a discount code. So if you go to the description and check all the way at the bottom, if you use the code WeLoveComics10, you'll get 10% off your first order if you've never used them before. And if you use the code WeLoveComics, you get 5% off after that for forever, as long as we do these deals. So here's another one. This is X-Men X of Swords Creation, number 1. So this is cover A. And then cover B, which is the Virgin variant. Interested in seeing that one. So again, they put them in a bag and board, they fold it over, and you can see on both sides they tape them. So they actually put in the effort, and then they put the packing slips on each one. So it's pretty much as close as you can to guarantee to them being delivered the way you ordered them, because they go above and beyond. So I'm not just saying it because they're telling me, I'm showing it. Alright, so this is one I was waiting for a while. This is the Punchline number 1 variant. Cover A. And then, is this a Virgin? Oh, it's a limited trade variant. Still not a bad cover. We'll see what they do with Punchline. They've definitely decided that that's not a one-and-done character. But time will tell if she's the next Harley Quinn, or just as good, or long-lasting. Time will tell. It is too early to tell about that character yet, but so far so good. Basically depends on the writing. Alright, this is one of the variants I absolutely love. It's another one of the Punchline number 1s. Obviously, this is paying homage to her first ever DC continuity. Not as good as the original, of course, because you have Mr. Ross, Alex Ross, who did that original cover. But this still does it justice. And this, let me see, is this the limited trade? No, this is, yes, limited trade variant. Cover A and cover B. And last but not least, and thank you to the 15 people that were kind enough to hit the like button. I really appreciate those that are kind enough to do that, because it does help my channel. You don't always have to agree with everything I say or even like what I say, You know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but hopefully you'll respect the fact that I do have my own opinions, and I'm just sharing them with those who it resonates with. And last but not least, another punchline number 1. So they had several different variants, which isn't a shocker when it comes to a new character that became hot, and they give her her own issue. And then the limited trade variant. And Renford Tim says, let's hope she's not a Harley Quinn clone. Remains to be seen. I doubt that's where they'll go, but you never know. It depends on the sales and what person is writing for the character. You know, character development is key. I mean, like I showed with the other book, with New Mutants 98, you know, for the first few decades, nobody cared about Deadpool because they just made him a generic, you know, character, nothing really special. But it wasn't until they gave him, you know, breaking the fourth wall and making him more, you know, very comedic, almost like Amazing Spider-Man to a certain extent, and they gave him a personality, that's when the character shines. So sometimes, you know, it only takes one way. I mean, look at what Chris Claremont did with the X-Men. You know, the original X-Men went into reprint and was basically going to be canceled. And if it wasn't for Chris Claremont and his revitalization with his new X-Men, you know, we probably wouldn't be having X-Men movies to this day. And we probably wouldn't even, most people probably wouldn't have even heard of those characters after a while. So a writer can take a bad character and turn him into a great character, and turn an okay character into, you know, an iconic character. And, you know, sometimes you can get a bad writer that puts it in a bad direction. So, you know, never rule out a character unless, you know, your gut just says it's not somebody you're interested in. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to like everything and everyone. Nothing wrong with that at all. Paul Hurst says, did you end up pre-ordering the black and white Spider-Man cover that's coming out at the end of the month? I honestly do not remember if that was one that I mentioned or it was available with Southside. If I didn't, I don't believe so. But I'll have to check on that one. But I've seen the one you're talking about. It looks like a cool cover. But if I missed out, you know, hey, sometimes you just miss out and you just got to say, you know, better luck next time. You know, you're not going to get every deal. You're not going to get every comic. And sometimes you're going to miss out and sometimes you're going to do steals. So that's part of the game. So if I didn't get it, yep, I missed out. But I'll have to see if that's one of the books I mentioned. I don't believe so, to be honest. But I guess we'll find out. But if I didn't get it, que sera, sera. Alright, so that was the bonus for you guys. 2 more people hit the like button, so we are up to 17 likes. Thank you so much for those that take the time to do that. I hope you appreciate the little bonus rounds I do for you guys. I really thank those that watch these videos. It means a lot to me. My channel definitely has not been the same as it was years ago. I understand that when I used to do all the live shows and everything, and people may have liked the drama or, you know, whatever was happening. I just want this now to be about comics, the love of comics, and people that come here because they're just interested in what I have to show or what I have to say. And that's how I want this channel to be. So if you appreciate it, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, maybe share it if you think somebody else might be interested in watching. And thank you to all those that participated in the live chat and all of those that will be watching until the end and putting it in the comment section that you're one of my power viewers or ultra power viewers. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. And it's not you, it's not I, it is we love comics. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you next video. And Randford Tim said 18th like. It only shows 17, so that shows YouTube likes to fudge around with the numbers. That's alright. It's the thought that counts.